How to install an RV tankless water heater. First, turn off the water heater switch, then run the hot water out of the lines until it gets cold. And let's take a moment to watch the steam against the black sink because it's just so pretty. Now turn off the main water valve, as well as the propane and all-electric power. Before you start, get a big bin or bucket to catch the dirty water, and then open the pressure valve to release any extra pressure. Remove the drain plug located here. It might be stuck, so use a ratchet to unscrew it, and you'll get more leverage if you attach an extender. Water should start coming out when it's loose, but this one had a major blockage. The hard water in Vegas is on another level. Quick tip, invest in a good filtration system so this doesn't happen. Hopefully yours is not this gross, but I suggest wearing a mask just in case. Some water heaters don't have an anode rod, so you may not even have this issue. Moving on, find the access to the back of the water heater. This one was located behind the front storage panel in a fifth wheel. Just a couple of screws on each end holds it in place, and you may also find the water pump and furnace back here. I suggest cleaning it more often than this one because, ew. Before taking out the old unit, shut off the cold and hot water valves. Then disconnect each of the water lines and keep a towel on hand. The cold one was stuck, so I just cut it instead. I'm replacing these lines anyway. Next, disconnect the electric wires. Here's a quick tip. Take a few pictures of the original connection just in case you need to refer back to it. On the exterior, remove all of the screws on the faceplate, then scrape the edges to remove the old butyl tape. You'll need the scraper and a hammer to separate the unit from the RV. And don't forget to disconnect the propane line. The old water heater can be pulled out at this point. Scrape the rest of the old butyl tape and clean the surfaces. The opening was too small, so I had to cut it with a grinder and a jigsaw. And remember to wear your PPE, your protective equipment. On the back side of the water tank, have your water outlet and then you have your water inlet. Over here, you have your gas inlet and then your electric wires. On the water inlet, I installed a back flush protector. I also ordered the pressure valve. This is the one that I took out of the old water heater. It has this rod. On the new pressure valve, it also has this rod and it goes straight into a regular RV water heater. It needs to be installed in the water outlet. The old water heater, you can see that the pressure valve goes directly into the tank. But on this tankless heater, on the water outlet, there's a bit of an issue. This one's not going to work for this tankless heater. You have to convert it somehow, because the rod is not going to fit in because that tiny piece in there. But here's a quick fix for that. You're going to go to your local hardware store and pick up a few extra pieces. Right here I have a 5-inch nipple is what they call it, and the rod fits in there. You also need an adapter, this piece right here, to go from the 1/2-inch rod to the 3/4-inch pressure valve. And in order to connect the pressure valve to the heater, you're going to need a 1/2-inch T, also a male-to-male coupling. Before I put any of the pieces together, I'm going to use the thread seal tape. First piece is the 1/2-inch T. That goes right on there. Next is the male-to-male coupling. Coupling goes on the end for the water hookup, and the pressure valve goes right over here. When it's all put together, it's going to look like this. You want the pressure valve to be angled a little bit downwards and the drain end to be pointed down. Pressure valve on the end. We're back behind here, behind the tank. I had to redo the plumbing because when I disconnected everything, found out there was actually a leak back here. So I reconfigured everything and redid the piping. The original valves were right here. There was one in the cold and on the hot. But new brackets and rings with the PEX piping. And then I put it down here with the L bracket. And then instead of having the valve over here, I changed it to where now the valve is right at the spigot, right at the connection here. So you still have the valves when you need to winterize it or when you need to turn off the water on those valves. So there's one on the hot and also one on the cold down here. Should be good to go to connect. Let's connect the cold water going into the water inlet. And again, the valve is here, so it could be shut off and turned back on. And then connect the hot water into the water outlet. Before I turn on the water heater, I'm going to go ahead and put the valves in the closed position so I can go ahead and turn the water on and then make sure there's no leaks coming from my new connection. I went ahead and connected the gas line over here. Now it's onto the electric. You have your red, your 2 blues, and your black. 2 blues are meant for the controller and the red and black are for the 12 volts. On my original connection, I had these 3 wires hooked up to the old water heater. And these 2 went to the 12 volt batteries. So we're gonna go ahead and use these ones. This one we don't need anymore. Now we're hooking up the controller. Now on the controller, to install it, you just take the face off of the back and then screw in the back plate into the wall. I put it right behind the water heater. We're ready to install the cover. So I attached the cover to the actual water heater with the screws that were included. Also put butyl tape all the way around. So we're gonna push it in and screw it into place. Installed. Open up this door. On and off switch is right there, and if you need to change the fuse, it's on the front side. Show you what the controller looks like. It's on right now. You can adjust the temperature. It's set for 120, so it'll get even hotter than it was. This little arrow right here changes it from Celsius to Fahrenheit, and we're on Fahrenheit right now. Verifying that it works. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited. I have hot water. Ow, hot water.